no. African princess like me. Nothing.
African princess.
No.
She knows her sport. She loves the game.
It's okay. Leave
Convener
it
of the ladies in
Josh,
sports.
please write Zibby a letter. Josh, write Zibby a letter. She didn't get it right. But hope you had a great weekend. I had a fantastic weekend. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And then I didn't sleep. And then I know I'm not going to sleep in the next 2 weeks because the Australian Open is live. So yeah, from 1 a.m. these people will start playing tennis. And if you snooze, you lose. So you have to stay awake. So I don't know when I'm going to get sleep.
Wow.
Maybe I'll sleep by noon. No, I have a meeting. Well, I will find some time to sleep, but hope your weekend was great. We're going to talk about everything. Manchester City. Manchester City and Pep Guardiola. We're going to talk about the New Year's sack list. In fact, I think we should start a pot for who gets fired first.
Not Graham Potter, though. I mean, he had a win.
Could be David Moyes, Frank Lampard. The list is just very rife and long, but we'll see how that goes. But first of all, the ways to join us, Zibby.
Yes, indeed. The telephone number 0144899881. Tega, I'll let you know when you can call, but you can send a message at any point on WhatsApp 0809 4440981, and we are live on YouTube at Smooth981 on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe or just tweet us Smooth981.
Yep. All right. So the first story.
Australian Open. Nick Kyrgios withdraws from home Grand Slam. Xavi claimed his first trophy as Barcelona manager. And after a comfortable victory over rivals Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup final, classy Arsenal outgunned Spurs to extend lead at the top. Rashford's role in equalizer was clear interference. And that is according to someone. Klopp rages at really bad Liverpool after Brighton shock. Napoli humiliate Juventus in top of the table clash. Mbappe back, but PSG beating by Rennes. And Mikhailo Mudryk. Chelsea signed Shakhtar Donetsk forward in £89 million deal.
All I can say, this is what I tell people every time. You can't just say, oh, I like somebody, then you be trying to be their friend before you toast them. Better come straight with what you want. See, I like you and I want us to date. All this one say, I'm getting to know her. The people that want to marry her will marry her quickly.
True.
That's what happened to Arsenal. Arsenal was there looking, saying, oh, Modric likes me, I like him, we are going to come to something. Chelsea was just like, Modric, do you want to marry and born or not? Modric said, I want to marry and born. They paid the money and that's it, he's gone. So Arsenal, next time, stop beating around the bush. Just go straight to the point. Direct, ahead.
This is a life lesson.
Serious life lesson. All right.
Okay, so home favourite Nick Kyrgios pulled out of the Australian Open with a knee injury the day before he was scheduled to play his opening match. Now he says he was devastated that he cannot play in Melbourne.
Yes, really, which is really sad. That's the second Australian pulling out of the Australian Open. So less noise now, and I really look forward to this home players, playing for their country, especially when they are good, like Nick Kyrgios. On his own, he has drama. Very talented, but a lot of drama. So he makes everything lively, and now he's pulled out because he had to drain his knees apparently 4 days ago, and he thought he could still play on it, but unfortunately he can't. So he pulled out really last minute because he was supposed to play tomorrow, but he pulled out really last minute. So he's out. Alia Tomjanovic is out, so not very good news. Remembering that last year we were all cheering for Ashley Barty in the Australian Open, and now she not only leaves the number one spot, she's retired. Well, she's having a baby, so I guess we can cheer for that. But the Australian Open is live already. There is an upset in the men's draw. Chorish is out. He was beaten this morning by Leheka. It was shocking to me because Bonachorich just came back, and he came back with a bang. He looked feisty towards the end of last year. He looked like he was preparing for next season. I was like, this season is going to be bloody.
Wow.
Round 1, Australian Open, early hours of the morning, knockout.
Wow.
Just like that.
He never saw it coming.
Reminds me of the Usman fight, but Tega, moving on.
Don't rub salt in our injuries. We're still trying to recover from that.
Yeah, we're still trying to recover from that. But right now, Rafa Nadal is taking on Jack Draper. It was always going to be tricky because Jack Draper even if he's lower ranked, a lot lower ranked than Rafa Nadal, because of the struggles that Rafa Nadal had, and especially because of the way Jack Draper plays, he's very stubborn. He makes you work hard for the win. I knew it was going to be a real time on court for Rafa Nadal, and it has been. He's won 2 sets so far. He dropped the second set, but now he's leading in the third set, and hopefully this will be the last set. So wait to see how this pans out. Also coming up next is Pospisil versus Felix Auger Aliassime.
I'm
So
rooting for the black guy.
that yeah. I can tell. So we wait to see how that one pans out. But for right now, Rafa Nadal, he slugged this way a little bit, but he looks like he's going to get there.
Awesome. Now, Javi claimed his first trophy as Barcelona manager. Now, the La Liga leaders dominated the match in Saudi Arabia and took the lead when the 18-year-old Gavi fired in from a Robert Lewandowski pass.
Yeah, so it was the El Clasico where like how is it going to be. Real Madrid, with the way they've been stubborn in the past few months, coming back even when they're down. But in Saudi Arabia, the air is different, apparently. Jaffe and his boys, they traveled. They were triumphant. Jaffe's won his first trophy now. So congratulations to him. But it was a dominant display by Barcelona. By the time it was 2 goals to nil, people were only hopeful because of the way Real Madrid plays. They're only hopeful. They're like, okay, this is a final, there's a trophy, and maybe in the last few minutes, Real Madrid will come back and score some goals. But on the basis of the play, they were obliterated by Barcelona. They never came back. That comeback we were looking for, we didn't see it. But they did grab a consolation goal by Benzema in injury time. But not a good display. And not if you're a Real Madrid fan, you'd watch that match and be like, maybe this is the law of diminishing returns affecting us. I mean, after having such a great season, at some point you're going to have a dip. Maybe this is that dip. But yeah, not looking. So if that is indicative of the title battle that is in La Liga, congratulations, Barcelona. But I dare not say that.
All right, we've got a few messages coming through.
Before we go to messages, let's take one more story so that we have them.
And this one is Arsenal powering to their first Premier League win in Tottenham in 9 years as the leaders took advantage of Hugo Lloris's blunder to seal a 2-0 victory in Sunday's North London derby.
All right, huge one for the North London derby. Now, there were some people that said Arsenal will beat Tottenham. Those people, congratulations to you. But it was supposed to be a test. In fact, Arsenal had a run of games where this was going to determine whether they won the league or not. It was the Newcastle game, which they drew. I thought they could have won that one too. The Tottenham game, and then this Manchester United game that's coming up. But this Tottenham game was important to win. I would say this for Tottenham. They have had an inconsistent season. And they did lose to Arsenal in the first leg. But I still expected that because it was a derby, they're going to come to the party. It's a lie. Arsenal played champagne football first 45 minutes. In fact, the football that Arsenal played, I could taste it on my tongue. It was sweet. You know how when you want to eat ogbono soup and they put the right amount of pepper, it's not too peppery, but you can taste. Then they do it to correct dry fish. You want from Sapele, not this roadside smoked fish. That's how Arsenal's football was. Finger licking good.
Wow.
I just thought for a derby, Arsenal shouldn't have it that easy. Arsenal's football was beautiful, like Miss Universe beautiful, like everything was glamorous and bright. First 45 minutes, second 45 minutes, Tottenham did try to put on a show, to make it look like a contest, but there was really not much. Arsenal always still had that edge. There was one breakaway that will put Tottenham on the back foot. One breakaway that reminds Tottenham that, look, if you all go forward to look for goals, you could concede. It was a brilliant display by Arsenal, and they deserve it. 8 points clear at the top of the table. This elephant is very comfortable at the top of that tree.
Right.
Very comfortable. All right, so let's take some messages.
Okay. Let's see. Let's pull
Josh
them up.
sent the letter. Is that Josh?
Josh? Oh, yes. If you want to shoot, don't talk.
Yes!
Okay. Can we move on to the others?
Let's start from Tayo now. Tayo says, I wonder what Richarlison was thinking by going after Ramsdale more so. That guy that climbed the pitch barriers to kick him. Madness of the highest order. It's a London derby. You expect to see some madness.
That was such unruly behavior.
I hope he gets banned. Otherwise, the FA is encouraging third grade. Yeah, it was really bad. And let me tell you what impressed me the most. It was Arteta saying, look, you guys can't fight. We just won. You can't collect a red card. Because they already have that not handling their teams, not conducting their teams. So they already have that fine and that question looming over their head. So immediately I saw, first of all, he saw Ramsdale in the fight. He first went to pull Ramsdale. As he was pulling Ramsdale away, he just saw Shaka going. He was like, ah! I'm pulling away knife when God is running.
Right.
And then he took off after Shaka just to hold it because he knows how Shaka can be. So that was interesting for me. But yeah, the FA, I'm sure is looking into that incident and they will do something about it.
Yes.
Let's see. Benga Kamu says, Tega with the adjectives and the imagery this morning. Good morning to you, Benga, too. This one did not give us his name. Please, could you send your name with your message? But he did say Arsenal did not look like they wanted a bidding war for Modric. And apparently, as far as they're concerned, it was better for the team not to be upset by a new, humongously priced by add-on. I agree. That money is too much for that guy. Like the guy who go bench. Yeah, I agree with you. Dapolawa says, Tega, you're wrong about Modric. Chelsea has crazy money to spend. That's all. Good luck to him. I agree with you. We are still saying the same thing now. It's people that have money that used to marry. I can't be broke and be looking for a wife.
Wow.
Then Ikedia from Ikeja says that Modric boy will regret his agent's greedy decision. Arsenal would have developed him. No, nobody wants that. Chelsea will simply waste his time, bench him, and then offload him at Fulham. All right. So I agree with you in some sense that I'm not sure that Chelsea needed another Modric. Do you understand? I don't think that that's their problem. And I do think he would have had opportunities at Arsenal. But again, my banter is still my banter.
All right. So Manchester City defender Manuel Akanji said Marcus Rashford was clearly interfering with play in the lead up to the United equalizer in their Premier League match on Saturday. Now, according to him, Fernandes tells him when he's not in an offside position and he can shoot. That's why he stopped. And for me, it's a clear interference.
Yeah, so everybody there were arguments up and down, and there's no argument about this. This was clear. The rules of the offside are, in fact, the reason why the FA made it long and many is so that there will be no need for this. This is the laws. This is the most recent one. A player is in offside position and they have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways that he can be there. But the one that Rashford violated, and I will say that was making an obvious action which clearly impacts the ability of an opponent to play the ball, because he was blocking Akanji. So in fact, Rashford was the play. People say he was not interfering. He was the play. He doesn't have to touch the ball. All he needs to do is take an action that impacts the opponent from playing the ball, which is what he was doing to Akanji. He protected that ball until the ball gets to Bruno Fernandes. So he was interfering with play. I will say this: VAR has given decisions for people that have been favorable to them. This weekend was Manchester United's turn. Next weekend, maybe another person's turn. It's turn by turn, it will come around. But what I will say for Manchester City is that was not their problem. Yes, they can rave and rant about the equalizer, and maybe if it wasn't given, they would have been able to get away with 1 point. But the truth of the matter is that Manchester City played for 96 minutes and had 1 shot on target, and that was the goal. You cannot have Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez, Jack Grealish at some point, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, all those guys, and have 1 shot. It is unforgivable, unpardonable. And the same thing they had against Southampton. They struggled to create chances against Southampton when they lost in the cup. So those are 2 matches where you have all these fantastic players and you're struggling to create chances. So Pep Guardiola should actually be sitting and thinking, what will I do to create more chances, as opposed to Rashford was interfering. Okay, VAR made a mistake. That was 1 chance. What happened to the rest of the 96 minutes? All right. So when we come back, we'll be taking your thoughts on that one. We go for a quick break now. We'll be right after this. Can you imagine?
They had 1 shot, one attempt on goal.
They had 1 shot on target.
So everything else was blocked everywhere.
1, and it entered. The 1 shot that they had was in the back of the net.
Wow,
nonsense, people. The only one they had entered the back.
That is insane. David Haaland was supposed to be on fire though.
Thank you. The ball, he not even see See, the one that he managed to see, defender block him.
Wow.
So he didn't even get to David De Gea.
Wow.
So what are they talking about? Yeah, I agree that VAR made a call for them, but they should be worried about that. It's the creating of chances. You can't have all those players and not create chances.
Man,
And now
that's
you're crying
shocking.
about this one. I agree you can cry about this one, but not now. They
Fix
should,
up.
they should fix up. Pep Guardiola is obviously, him and his team, they're obviously struggling. So
Wow.
that's what they need to fix.
Let me get a sip of water.
Yes, my darling.
Oh,
I have
all that noise. Boy, was I wrong.
Oh, my internet doesn't work here. Living on a prayer, take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. Oh, living on a prayer.
With all the money I spent on tabs this year,
Hey, wait.
if there's one thing 5G has done right, I'll say it's really
Okay.
Excuse me.
Nada, thank you for your little messes. Next time, don't stress me. My plan is for it to crash out in the
Now
quarterfinals.
he's aging.
Oh yeah, he's not a young guy.
He's just 36, isn't he?
What are we doing today?
He's 36 is, I don't know. I think because of all the supplements people take. 36 is grandpa age in sports.
Well, I guess so. And you know, because I've been watching him since he was young and had a lot of hair.
Yeah.
He started really young and was successful really young too.
The wife belly don't flat. No.
She had a baby recently?
She had a baby a few months ago.
A few months. He said they have supplements, they have the best doctors, they have the best trainers.
She's a doctor too.
She
She was probably jogging with that baby.
Oh,
It's baby up to 4 months.
wow. Oh, 4 months. That's most.
That belly don't
flat
flat.
back in a few. In
She's not a
sometimes.
young girl now.
Oh,
She's not a young girl. She's about his age. So I mean, the older, yeah,
his body though.
yeah. So two of them,
Like-
they probably jog together.
Exactly.
That's their love
They work out
language.
together.
They work out
Honey,
together.
can we go
Very
for a quick
useless
run?
people. See
5-mile run.
My envy is rising very high. my envy is here.
Tega. Yes, this is the locker room on Smooth 98.1. And we're looking at the stories that, of course, are making the rounds in the world of sports. We see your messages coming through. You can keep them coming. The WhatsApp number is 0809 440 981. And at some point, Tega will probably open the phone line 014489981.
Okay, so let's take one message from Nero Cello. Says Arsenal is a joy giver. Chelsea and Manchester United are the real market spoilers, and they can waste money and overpay for players. Arsenal will reset Man U button next week and go on to win the league. We wait to see that. And Man U and Chelsea will not play in UEFA Champions League next season. Nero. Okay. Oh. Big E from K2 says, Tega, my weekend was good. First, my birthday was on Saturday. Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I wished for Manchester United to beat City. Oh, you got that. And for Arsenal to beat Tottenham. Yeah, you got that. And to my satisfaction, and after the match, Ramsdale and Richarlison, as if they pain them, it is sweet us. This elephant is not just hanging on a tree, but it is now flying around the tree, waiting for Man City and Man U. All right, so let's take this one more from Aki Adesoji before we go to the next story. Good morning, ladies. Manchester United and North London are red, correct? I predicted a 2-2 draw in the Manchester derby, but Eric Ten Hag and the players exceeded my expectations. Friendman marked De Bruyne all game long. Yes, Rashford was offside in the build-up to the equalizer, but the poor officiating in EPL goes for and against all clubs. I agree, Aki. In the course of the season, glory, Man United. Even if Chelsea signed the 22 most expensive players in the world, without a world-class coach like Zidane, they won't win. Shishi.
All right, we're also streaming live on YouTube. We see your comments.
We see some comments on. So Padre Pio says, Chelsea says, do you want to marry and born or not? Tega will not kill me. I will try not to. Okay, Derek says, in as much as I appreciate the new Chelsea owners splashing the cash, I feel they are throwing money at every problem, which is not the solution. Reminds me of what my mother tells me. They remind me of the Nigerian government without corruption. He also says, I'm slowly accepting that Arsenal might win the EPL. always call them the elephant on the tree, but they are looking comfortable on that tree. Kunle Windapo says it was an assist from Rashford. Simple. I agree. Um, and then Ibuku Ikunu says, Tega, see Chelsea's injury list. I really feel sorry for them. Or did somebody get the contact of Boba's voodoo doctor? Graham Potter has aged and the bags under his eyes. Thank God they won. I'm telling you, when you get so much money, with much money comes much responsibility. So let's talk about other people's problems again. And one of them is Jurgen Klopp.
All right, so Jurgen Klopp has labelled Liverpool's dismal 3-0 defeat at Brighton on Saturday as the worst he has seen during his Anfield reign. And he says, bad, really bad. I can't remember a worse game. It was a very organised team, but not a very organised team.
All right, so I
guess a not very organised team.
Yeah, even I am struggling to understand what Liverpool's problem is at this point in time. Yes, they've had injuries, but the players they put on the pitch are not bad to lose the way they are losing game after game. So maybe people should help me. I'm looking for people to break down this thing. So what is Liverpool's problem? The numbers to call are
0144899881.
Again,
0144899881.
So tell me, what do you think is Liverpool's problem? Why are they struggling so much? Is it the 7-year curse for Jurgen Klopp, or they are just bad and maybe they are tired after dominating for years? All right, so let's take our first call. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, yeah, may I have your name and your location, please?
Okay, my name is Ifani. I'm calling from Amuodo.
All right, Ifeanyi, go right ahead with your summations.
Well, I am a big fan of Liverpool. In fact, watching that match was the most embarrassing match I ever watched for Liverpool. The problem with Liverpool, first of all, has to do with their midfielders. If you notice, those Brighton players were just young stars. I think the average age should be maybe 24. And you have midfielders of Liverpool that are comprised of people on their 30s. Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho. Those guys are getting old. And they cannot keep up with the pace. The kind of intensive football these current young stars are playing.
Okay.
Secondly, Liverpool need to find an alternative for Arnold. Arnold might be a wonderful crosser when it comes to feeding the strikers. But he has a very poor defensive mechanism.
Okay.
And that is our main problem. Because whenever he goes for that counter, he doesn't have the strength to come back. That point I was playing 11 was the one who was destroying Liverpool. So Arnold was not there.
All right. So you said the midfielders are aged and Trent Alexander-Arnold is a problem. All right, let's hear somebody else's summation. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tega.
Yes. What's your name and your location, please?
My name is Chuba and I'm calling from Amumu.
All right, Chuba. Ifeanyi says he's dropped. Hello, good morning. Oh, there are gremlins in the phone line today.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Your name and your location, please.
Yes, Ibuku from VI.
Ibuku from VI. Go right ahead with your summation.
Yes, for Liverpool, their problem probably is unhappy. Let them be greedy. As a Man United fan. But on the more serious note, I think that team is tired. They put up with the pressure from United and later with City in the later years, but without having the type of recruitment that City had to constantly bring in fresh and new players in every position. So City can comfortably set out 2 or 3 teams that will play in the Premiership and will still be in the top 4. Liverpool can't do that at the moment. And then I think they really lost a lot by Sadio Mane. What he gave to that team was over and beyond just scoring. His ability to, when you see somebody that is, committed to the cause, giving his every drop of blood and energy of the field, it galvanizes the other players. I think that's what they're like.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Buku. I love all the summations that are coming in so far. We'll still take your messages. We'll still take a message. Let's read what happened in the Italian Serie A, and we'll come back to the messages.
All right, now leaders Napoli snapped Juventus' 8-match Serie A winning streak in spectacular style on Friday, handing Massimiliano Allegri's men a humiliating 5-1 thrashing on Friday in the top of the table clash.
All right. So Victor Osimhen doing the business, scored a brace. I'm still angry with all Nigerian players when they don't when I'm still angry with all of them. Every time they perform, I'm just like, and you couldn't qualify us for the World Cup. But fantastic display by Victor Osimhen. Fantastic game by Napoli. Juventus, on the other hand, played exactly like their nickname, Old Lady. They were second to everything. Second to the ball, second to thinking, second to defending, second in attack, second throughout, and Napoli just took advantage of that. It was a horrible display by Juventus, and just when you thought they would have closed the gap, they widened it a little bit more. So it's looking like this trophy is going to Napoli.
Wow.
The other people are just playing for second place.
All right. Now, Kylian Mbappe made his return from a post-World Cup holiday, but PSG went down 1-0 away to Rennes in Ligue 1.
So in Ligue 1 now, they've lost back-to-back games, and that just leaves them 3 points clear at the top of the table. And yesterday, Messi, Neymar started. Mbappe started from the bench. He came in, I think it was 56 minutes, so a few minutes after the second half break. But even when he came in, they gave him ball, he still squandered the chance. So it wasn't a question of whether he started late or not. But yes, the PSG really do need to sit up because they've struggled. The game that they won against Angers by 2-0, when Messi scored, yes, I think it was more the quality of the opposition than anything fantastic they did. And so it's beginning to tell. And the UEFA Champions League is right around the corner. So if you are performing like this against the guys in Ligue 1, how will you perform against European champions? Those are the questions that they need to ask themselves. So we'll wait to see how they recover from this. But it was a horrible display. Neymar had an abysmal performance. Messi was completely forgettable on the night. And well, Mbappe, you know how the story goes. So of course the coach will be upset that you have stars on the team and you're not dominating and destroying every team in the Ligue 1. But prior to these 2 losses, they went 23 games unbeaten, only for them to have back-to-back losses. So they need a way to bounce back.
Could too many big stars on the same team be a problem?
Yes, if egos are not managed, it could be a problem. Is that their problem though? All right, there's not so much time, so I think we have to take messages. Zibby, let's start with Olufemi Omotayo.
Okay, Olufemi says Liverpool are struggling because the backbone Sadio Mane left. And Ikedia says Liverpool's problem is simply the law of diminishing returns. They've won everything and are no longer voracious and hungry. Tayo says Chelsea with the box office signings. How are they compliant with financial fair play? This transfer window, for every Chelsea loss, a new player comes in. Arsenal fans, do not be angry. Okay, Agumbiade Real One says the most important part of a team is the midfield, most especially the CDM. Look what Casemiro and Partey are doing for their clubs. They have aging midfielders. Milner is like 400 years old
I
now.
agree.
Okay, Ola says, good morning, up Arsenal, but Tega, Chelsea splashing money anyhow will not take away the problem. I pity the player. Australia Open, I will try and watch the final. And I know that you were there for me with the details. Chimobi Victor from Alaba International says, kudos to our own Victor Osimhen for making us proud. That guy's a quality striker. While for Liverpool, their problem is spiritual, so I wasn't surprised that they lost against Brighton.
All right, and we go to YouTube on the live chat, and Ernest Okemwa says, Chelsea can sign Modric to watch Arsenal on top of the league from the bench. Wow. El Kader welcomes back and says, the list of Liverpool's problems. 1, 7-year curse of Klopp. 2, mistreating money. 3, not spending on quality players, etc. All right. Padre Pio says, Tega's imagery though. Now it's Arsenal playing champagne football and their football compared with Ogbono soup. Tega!
Tega, are you hungry this morning?
I must be. But yeah, we've run out of time.
Yes, indeed we have. That's all the time that we have for the locker room this morning. Thank you, Tega, and thank you for listening. Thank you, YouTube. Do stay with us. There's a lot more to come on Smooth Breakfast. In about 15 minutes from 9 o'clock, it will be time for Lagos Talks.